What's up, B Squad? It is your boy JB, and we are here today, you guys, with a brand new review for the Real Housewives of Orange County. This is season number 18, episode 9. This episode was titled A Picture Worth a Thousand Words, and oh my God, was it ever! But before we do get into the review, you guys, if you guys are watching this video or any other video on the channel and you guys aren't subscribed yet, then I need you guys to do me a solid favor and stop taking me out on this date and then having me pay for it at the end of it. You guys know the routine. You can do me that favor by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and turning on your post notifications, you guys. And with that out of the way, without further ado, let us go ahead and get into this episode of The Real Housewives of Orange County, shall we? All right, you guys, this episode right here, whew, ah, God, I don't even know where to start with it. It was a whole lot in this episode to unpack, but I guess we'll start up with the scene in this episode, the person in this episode who gave us, very little to work with. Well, I ain't gonna say little to work with, but she didn't have a story. She didn't have much to talk about in this episode. So we will start it up with none other than, I guess we'll start up with Jen. Yeah, we'll talk about Jen real quick because there wasn't nothing with Jen in this episode. We just saw Jen on the phone. So all the ladies are going on another trip, and this is a trip that is being presented to the ladies by Heather. So Jen is talking to Katie on the phone, and Jen is just letting Katie know, hey, I'm not going to be on the plane with you guys when you guys go to, because they're going to Sonoma. So she's not going to be on the plane with them because she has a court date. And so she's been waiting for a while for this court date. So she doesn't necessarily want to miss this court date. So that's what it is. Katie was telling her that she wishes that she could be there with her. Again, like I said, it wasn't much in this episode with Jen for us to like literally just dig into. Again, I do like Jen. We'll talk about Jen as when she got to the trip with the ladies because my God, my God, my God. We'll talk about Jen. But I've already said what I've said my 2 cents about Jen, and I still stand on what I said about Jen. The fact that when it comes to her, you are a woman in your 40s and you don't know how to fend for or take care of yourself. And, you know, no judgment, but what are you teaching your kids? Like, that's the only thing I question is like, what are you teaching your kids? Because you're living with Ryan, so it's almost as if you're telling your kids, hey, as long as you can depend on other people, you'll be fine in life. Like that's and I'm not saying that's what she's telling her kids, but that's just how it looks. Is so, like she doesn't really 100% truly care. And I know she does care, but it gives something else. But yeah, you guys, let me know what you guys think about Jen, and we will go ahead and move on. And like I said, this whole episode really mostly consisted of his trip to Sonoma. So we'll just have Heather on the screen from this because this is Heather's trip. Now, the episode, it opened up and we saw as Heather was riding around with Alexis. And my feelings still stand when it comes to Alexis. I think Alexis is doing the absolute most for no reason. Like, if you want to have an issue with Shannon, have an issue with Shannon, but don't make your issue with Shannon that because of what is going on with Shannon and John, because that has nothing to do with you. Like you weren't in that relationship with Shannon and John, so you don't know what the truth is. You're only hearing one side of the story. You're hearing his side of the story, and you're not even sitting down and actually talking to Shannon and trying to understand where Shannon may be coming from. And I have an issue, like I have a real big problem with that when it comes to Alexis. It's like you are doing all of this behind a man that you've only known for a few months, and I don't get it. I'm so tired of Alexis when it comes down to it. So Alexis, um, she's happy that she's being invited on this trip, and it's like, girl, Even if you like, again, it's like you're trying to make fetch happen when it comes to Shannon, and I think that's the problem that I ultimately have. Because again, you're taking his side of this situation. You just met John, so you don't know if he's telling you the absolute 100% truth. And the thing is, when it comes to a story, there are three sides to every story, right? There's John's side, there's Shannon's side, and then there's what's in the middle where I believe the truth lies. And so, do I believe some of the stuff that John says about Shannon? Possibly. Do I believe what Shannon says about John? Some of that could be true as well. So Heather, she and Terry, they are talking. They're with the kids. They're talking about the fact. Here's the thing when it comes to her and Terry. Why don't she? I just don't understand why she's still on this show and not on Beverly Hills, because she's talking about living up there in Beverly Hills, and they're asking the kids, what do they prefer to be? One of them prefers to be down in OC. One of them prefers to be up there in Beverly Hills. And like I said, I'm just kind of confused as to why she has not become a cast member on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills since her home is there. Now I don't know how familiar she is with the girls in Beverly Hills. You guys will definitely tell me in the comment section below. So we see all the ladies as they're getting ready to head to Sonoma, right? I think they were on a private plane. I'm not quite sure, but we saw as Heather made sure that Gina and Katie didn't sit nowhere near her. Now this whole thing with Katie and Heather, it's childish, it's stupid. I don't know why Heather is holding on to it so badly. Like it gives that, yeah, some of it may have been true. Hey, Ms. AKA, you said get my hair braided. Don't make me laugh. And have crooked parts. I'm gonna try my hardest not to. So here's the thing. Katie, not Katie, but Heather is going to Sonoma because of this organization that she's dealing with called Family Equality. So they deal with their LGBT organization, and I'm here for it, right? You guys know that Heather's one of her daughter's transition is going from he to she, right? Well, she to he, and we support that over here. I don't, you live your life how you want to live it, right? And I agree when it comes down to it. Like, I'm not gonna get political, but when it comes down to certain things, I just don't think that our government should be involved in it, right? LGBTQ rights. I don't think that they should be involved in. When it comes to women's health, I don't think that they should be involved in. So that's that. But you guys, we don't have to discuss it. That's just my opinion. Those are my thoughts and my opinions. You said Miss AKA says, if it's a Heather trip, it was private. Yeah, you say I love this. Oh, thank you. So let's go on and move on. Gina and Katie, right? Actually, we'll talk about them later. They were talking to Shannon about dating. Now, here's my thing when it comes to Shannon and dating, especially with this stuff with her and John. Do I think that she should date? Absolutely not. I think that Shannon needs to take the time to be by herself, find out who Shannon is now that she's an empty nester, and just get to like Shannon and love Shannon. I don't think that Shannon needs to be in a relationship. I really truly don't. But you guys will definitely tell me what you think. And I also think that Shannon needs to figure out, why she drink, especially when she gets mad and stuff, why she drinks the way she does. Like I think Shannon needs to do some self love, right? I think that's what Shannon needs to do before she tries to date anyone again. Because let's be real, John Jansen has done a number on Shannon. You say Shannon should love on herself. Absolutely. And y'all know how I feel about Shannon. Shannon is my girl. So I will say I did find it funny that they were talking about John and Alexis was within ear range because they were talking about the fact that now this was kind of cringy. The fact that they were on the red carpet and they were saying it was their red carpet debut. It's like, girl, nobody's checking for John Jansen and nobody's checking for Jesus Jug. So y'all red carpet debut, And Shannon was like, he has on the shoes that I bought him. And so Alexis was like, they asked her, what shoes did he have on? And she said, and so she got in her feelings that Shannon was talking about it. It's like, here's my thing, Alexis. Shannon has all the power over you because anytime she mentions anytime her name comes up, you have a visceral reaction to it. Shannon just becomes annoyed because of the things that John is doing to her. So Shannon has every right to feel the way she feels. But you, however, Miss Mamas, you look pressed like a panini, and I just don't understand. Like, I swear to you guys, I don't understand it. Like, it makes absolutely no sense to me. And then you want to, like, you love the age shame. You like to talk about Shannon's age. Alexis, Shannon looks good for a 60-year-old woman. Like, you talk about you talk about her age, but baby, she looks damn good. Miss A, excuse me, Miss AK says, I don't think Shannon was paying him that much dust. No, I don't think Shannon was paying them that much dust because I think for Shannon, this was fresh. Like, I don't think that she and John had been broken up that long before he went and found his thirst bucket. So so Shannon is, definitely not paying him that much dust. She ain't paying him the dust that I would pay him because this was clearly to get her back on the show. I think their engagement is a way to get her back on the show full time so that she can have a storyline and get her orange back. I think that's what that engagement is. I don't buy that engagement for nothing in this world. I think Alexis and John are playing a game. You also say, Alexis, your boyfriend is 60. Quit age shaming Shannon. Exactly. Exactly. But when it comes to Alexis, Alexis is gonna get her karma one way or another. And here's my thing when it comes to you, Alexis, like, you're dating, you see what he's done to Shannon, and you see what he's currently doing to Shannon. It ain't even the fact of, okay, Shannon said she paid for everything. It's the fact that he's suing her. He's suing her, but he's supposed to be so happy with you. If the man was happy with you, he wouldn't have time to sit there and think about Shannon. Like, come on. You can't be that dense, that dumb, and that naive. But maybe you are. Maybe you are. And maybe you should go get your head examined because there's something wrong with Alexis. Like, I don't care how you slice it, dice it. There's literally something wrong with Alexis Bellino. Like, you can't tell me that there's not. But yeah, so I agree. Like I said, Shannon is not paying it the dust that I wish she would pay it, but that it is what it is. So the ladies get to where they're staying. The place is really nice. So where are we at next? So it was Emily, Shannon, Gina, and Katie. So the girls are splitting up. So some of the girls are going to go one place and the others are going to go to a spa, right? Shannon, as much as I love you, babe, I don't think you should be drinking. Even if you are on a vacation, I really don't think you should be drinking. I'm not, I don't know if I would say that I believe Shannon has an alcohol problem. I don't know if I can say that because I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. But I definitely don't think that Shannon should have been drinking per se. That's just my personal 2 cents. So Shannon is telling the girls how she offered John some money, right? I think she offered him half of what he's asking for. Baby, you're better than me because I want to give him anything at all. But she offered him half, and I was like, that's better than me. So on the other side, we see Heather them, right? So they're meeting up with the people from what's the name of this organization? It is called what is it again? Family something. Family Equality, right? Now you guys know down there in Georgia, not Georgia, but Florida, they had the Don't Say Gay bill, right? Well, this organization sued Florida and they won, so they have the right to be able to say gay. And I was like, Amen. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. And if you guys know anything about me, I can't stand Ron DeSantis, and he's a mini you know who. Let's go. We'll see what the comments say. Shannon, I love her, but she needs outpatient treatment. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Check Alexis's lead levels. She doesn't function on all cylinders. Mm-mm. She definitely does not function on any cylinders. So, also, we found out with Heather that I guess this organization asked her to create a wine. So she created four, and they're loosely based on her children. So, congratulations to Heather. Now, you guys know Heather is not my favorite person on this show, but we're gonna celebrate people, right? So Jen finally arrived. Jen. This is why I say it, and I'll continue to say it. You are talking about getting $6,000 in temporary spousal support from your ex-husband, but you're saying that that's not going to be enough for your lifestyle that you and your kids are accustomed to. That's why when I always say to women, especially, if you're going to date a man with money and for money, always make sure that you have some money squared away on the side. So that way, in case of any emergency, be it he pass away, be it he divorce you, or you divorce him, be able to sustain your life outside of that man. But then the problem with Jen also is the fact that you are now linked up with Ryan. So it's like you I like Jen, but Jen is just somebody who depends on men to take care of her. And I'm okay with it, but I'm not okay with it. It's like I really, really, really want you to learn how to be independent. Miss AKA says, I need Jen, I need help. Since Emily apologized, I hope she can instill some sense into her, though. Yeah, you know, now I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know if I would take any advice from well, yeah, I guess I would. I was about to say I don't know if I would take any advice from Emily, but I would. Because she's a successful woman. She's a I don't know if she still practices law, but she was a successful attorney. So yeah, I guess so. I guess so. Now Tamra. Speaking of Tamra, let's talk about Tamra really, really, really quickly, and I'm gonna get off of it as soon as I get on it. Tamra, I want you to stay off of social media because I am so tired of seeing your face and that peeling. Whatever Tamra has done to her face, the healing process. I am so overseeing the healing process on my timeline on Twitter because my God, today that face looks horrible. And then you got upset with Vicky because Vicky did that interview. Well, I mean, Vicky, I don't know. Never mind. Never mind. You called her Tamrat. You say she looks like that character. She looks like the character of The Mask, or the mask that you had on. Oh my God, not the. She looks bad. A mask that you rob a bank with. Oh my God. But yeah, Tamara does look. She looks horrible, and I want to stop seeing her on my timeline. Oh my God. But Tam, speaking of you, I saw, like I said, I'm hopping on and I'm hopping off of that face thing. But speaking of you, you are mad at Vicky for talking about you in an interview, but then you're sitting right here in front of Alexis, Heather, who else was there? Jen. Like you're sitting here talking crap about Shannon. Like, here's my thing with Tamara. If you were really concerned about Shannon's drinking, you wouldn't have waited until the cameras went up to discuss it amongst the girls. You wouldn't have done that. A real friend would have sat down with her friend and be like, hey, friend, you know, I think there may be some issues with, I think you may be using alcohol to cope with some stuff. And then you see what she's going through with John. And then Alexis. Again, back to you, Thirst Bucket. You're talking about John wants to be vindicated. Why do you care? Why are you so hell bent on making, like, it literally seems like this was premeditated, that she and John orchestrated this plan to come onto this show and drag Shannon over the coals. Like, that's literally the vibe that I get. Like that's literally what I get. Miss AKA says, I'm convinced Tamra brought Alexis on. I wouldn't be shocked about that if that ever came to fruition that Tamra brought her on because it's so weird. It is so weird. Then we move back over to Gina, the other ladies, right? So they're at the spa. So Gina is talking about a new dog that she got. Here's the thing, Gina. I really want you and Travis to go ahead and break up. That's all I'm asking. Break up, break up, break up, break up. But what would happen if they break up? That would end her storyline. Oh, you know what, girl? Go for it. Please go for it, Gina. Gina, please go for it. Please go for it. Also, Gina, please, for the love of God, I'm sick of looking at this confessional. My God. So, if y'all don't know anything about Housewives, when it comes to their interview looks with the producers, those have to be okayed by what's I know Candace said it. Like the producers have to look at those looks and they have to okay those looks. Who in their right mind okayed this look for Gina? Because the thing is, they have to be able to duplicate those looks over and over because they sit for hours, but then sometimes they'll have to go back and they'll have to refilm those confession, other things with those confessionals. So so whoever their makeup artist is and hair, they have to be able to recreate that look. This confessional look for Gina should never be recreated ever again. Gina and an Angry Bird looking confessional was taking me out. My God, I'm so sick of that confessional. My God, I don't even remember what Gina's first confessional looked like because they keep showing us this ugly confessional. Lord Jesus be offense when it comes to Gina's and this confessional. So we move back over to oh God, you guys, this is where the episode goes downhill for me. We move back over to Shannon. So Shannon got a call from her attorney, right? Now remember, I said a few minutes ago that she's extended an offer to John Jansen. So his attorneys declined, and Shannon says that she's not paying him anything, and I absolutely agree. Don't pay that man a penny more than what you offered him, right? But then Emily says, just write a check, Shannon. Just give him what he's asking for. Part of me understood where Emily was coming from, and part of me was like, no. Like part of me, because Gina even said what I said, right? It's principle. Like, why don't you take the money that I'm offering you and leave me the hell alone if you're so happy in your relationship with Alexis, right? But then I got where Emily was coming from. Emily is like, for a peace of mind, Shannon, give the man what he's asking for so that way he can go away and leave you the hell alone. And I was like, you know what? Both sides make sense, right? So so Gina's talking about Alexis, and she feels like Alexis should stay out of it, which absolutely stay out of it because it has something to do with you. Again, here's my thing: I would never be with a person that I see them mistreating their ex, who is visibly going through something currently. I can never be with somebody like that. But that speaks more towards Alexis and her character, right? So also, briefly, Heather told the girls how she invited Katie on the trip in the spirit of solidarity. Girl, I didn't even think about that last week when she said that. If you had said in a spirit of solidarity, I'm like, well, in the spirit of solidarity, I'm not coming. But you know what? They have to do this for the purpose of the show in case so they can get their money. So I'm not too mad about it. You asked, do you think they mentioned the video on purpose? Huh. Because that's where we're going next. Gina bringing up the video. Do I think that Gina brought it up on purpose? No, I think Gina had a um diarrhea of the mouth. I don't think that Gina intentionally meant to bring that video up. I don't. But I can also see how if people believe that she did, I can see why people would think that. But here's the thing, because Gina previously asked, "Are we not supposed to tell Shannon?" And nobody said, "Hey, we're not supposed to tell Shannon about." But here's the other thing: I'm not upset that Gina even told her because Shannon needed to know. because Alexis is going around the group telling everybody about this video. And we just still don't even know what's on this video. And I'm a heartbroken for Shannon. When Shannon started crying and she went into the other room and called her attorney and told her attorney to give him whatever he wants, I was like, oh my God. And honestly, when Gina said it, I thought about it. I was like, this seems like extortion to me. It seems like I'm gonna have my girlfriend on camera say, oh, if Shannon keeps doing this and Shannon keeps doing that, then we're gonna release the video. And so if we say that on camera, then we're gonna make her look bad. And so maybe she'll be forced to give him what he's asking for. But like I said earlier, I agreed with what Emily said. I agreed with her. Pay the man so he can go away, but also get that shit in writing too. If I would pay him, but I would get it in writing. But I felt so bad for her. So they split up. So Heather, not Heather, but Emily and Katie went off to have a conversation to go get a massage, right? I'm actually here if not Heather, Emily has a conversation with her and basically tell her that she needs to butt out of it and think about, you've only heard what John said. You don't know what Shannon is going. You don't know Shannon's side. Like Shannon is an empty nester. Shannon is dealing with his DUI. Shannon is dealing with a lot of stuff, and then you're compounding upon that. So I hope Emily has a sit down conversation with that bobblehead. Ms. AKA says you would think Emily, the lawyer, would know if that was extortion. It depends on what her practice is. But I mean, it literally does sound like extortion. But here's the thing, I guess you can't really say extortion because John technically isn't the one who's saying this. This is coming out of Alexis's mouth. So we've never heard John say, oh, if Shannon keeps doing this and Shannon keeps doing that, then we're going to release the video. This is literally coming straight from Alexis's mouth. So we don't know what is what. But Shannon, she went to her room, and I really felt so bad for Shannon. So the end of the episode, oh my God, the end of the episode. You say I appreciate it for I appreciate Emily for that. Yeah, me too. So here's the thing. So Shannon went because they're supposed to have dinner. My thing with Shannon is better than I am because I would never want to be in the presence of Alexis Bellino after this whole situation. At the reunion, Andy Cohen could ask her all the questions he wants to, but I would never address her. If he say, "Did you hear what Alexis said?" I'd be like, "I was not listening. I didn't even know she was here. Where's Alexis?" Like Alexis would not exist in my world, in my book, if I was Shannon. And like I said, at that reunion, I would pay her the ultimate dust. I wouldn't acknowledge her. I would let her talk to her heart's content. And when Andy asked for a rebuttal, I'm like, rebut what? I didn't hear anything. Is someone else here? Did someone else speak? Gina, you say something? Tamara, you say something? Heather, you say something? Emily? Jen? Katie? Andy? Oh, I didn't hear nobody. None of them said anything. I didn't hear anything. Like I would literally pay her dust. I would pay that. I was about to call her. I was about to call her out of her name. I was about to call her out of her name, but I'm gonna keep it cute. But yeah, I would pay Alexis. I really hope that Shannon goes into this reunion and does that. Don't entertain her. Don't acknowledge her. Act like she is a brick wall. John, you are a a steaming pile of shit. So Shannon went to go talk to Heather, and Shannon remembered that when she was in the accident, so she wasn't that far from his house. So I was like, so he didn't hear that? Because I mean, did you guys see? I mean, we all have saw that video by now. When she slammed into that house, She slammed hard into that house, like she totaled her car. So he didn't hear that. Okay, I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. He didn't hear it. But then where he loses me at is the fact that Shannon texts him a picture of herself after the accident. But then he didn't text her until about an hour or so later because the cops came to his house with Archie. I was like, so you gonna text her about Archie? But she literally sent you a picture of herself. When they showed that picture of Shannon, I was like, oh my God. Shannon, beloved, as much as I love you, I really hope that was a wake up call to you. To see your face with blood dripping down your face, I was like, oh my God, Shannon. Shannon, you are lucky that you didn't hurt yourself, you didn't hurt Archie, and you didn't hurt the people in that house. Like, God was with you that night. He was really with you. And you should be like, you you should be, I mean, you should be saying all types of Hail Marys, right? Because God saved your life that night. He really did. He really, truly did. My heart broke too when I saw that picture. But my heart really more so broke is the fact that she sent him a picture of her with, I mean, I mean, it wasn't even like a little drop of, you know, the red bodily function. It was gushing from her face, dripping down her face. And I was like, and you text, granted, I don't have a problem with you texting her about Archie, but you can't even, like, you were in a relationship with this woman for years. You can't even be bothered to ask her if she's okay. That is so heartless. But you know what? It's a special place in hell for a person like John Jansen. It really truly is. And Alexis, like I've said plenty of times before in my reviews, the same way he did Shannon, he's gonna do you even worse. Girl, I hope you don't marry that man. But actually, you know what? Let me take that lie back. I hope you do marry him. Hope you marry him, and I hope he runs you through, rakes you over the coals. Miss AK say Alexis. It says a lot about his character. It does. It really does. But I don't think she cares. Is the sad part about it. But yeah, you guys, that was the episode of Orange County. A solid episode, but that ending, my God. But yeah, you guys, be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on your post notifications, and share the video, you guys. And until next time, stay safe, take care of yourselves, you guys. Wash your hands, be blessed, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys later. So reasonable doubt. I don't know when that's gonna go live. I may put it up now and just say forget it about the monetization and let you guys have it because I don't want to wait. But yeah, I'll be back later for Love After Lockup, the Braxtons, Bel Air. Now, what I will say when it comes to Bel Air, if Bel Air gets flagged, y'all won't see that video until the monetization is cleared. But I'll see you guys later. Bye.